Hi, and welcome to Odyssey of Ascension. It's Roxanne once again. Thank you all for tuning in to today's channeling. And yes, today's Friday. I got it right. Woohoo! Wonderful. All right, let's have some fun. And greetings once again to the collective. This is Ocyphius. We bid you all a good day. All right, we're going to talk about a big one today. Lack. What drives it? What births it? What definitions have you decorated with? Let's call one envy. Another one, there's jealousy. Certainly. The idea of I don't have now is birthing lack. That kind of idea. In the idea of another defining you, completing you, I am all wanting in the idea of being in love. All want to fall in love. Truly. Do you ponder why? Do you understand the love is a mirror? The love that you seek in another is the love for yourself that you are denying because you don't accept what you are in some fashions. Portions over here, sure. Yes. No lack there, no questioning, not even remembered truly as an idea of a belief at one time. And the idea of over here, you're seeking a love, someone to fall in love with, to spend the rest of your life with. It's a big contract when you think. Many spend their lives together, but they deem it with no contract. They don't put a purpose on it, an outcome, a structure, a stricture, truly. They just allow the now. And they are unconditional. They never leave each other's side. They just are a symbiotic, harmonious relationship because neither one has expectations of the other. So they're truly not putting expectations on themselves. Neither one trusts the other, for that is a burden the other cannot carry. Truly. They are just now loving and allowing themselves, choosing their joy. If the idea in the mirror, the reflection entity they have fallen in love with, receives an idea of unconditional love, the idea of that person being themselves, know that. Being yourself is the highest vibration, the highest act of love you can possibly radiate in the mirror. Truly. And if they receive that unconditional love and they condition it, they are conditioning themselves, we know this. They are putting a stricture upon another to stay within the cages, the bindings that would fit and complete their world. So now let's make it personal. I love you. However, this is the box that I must love you in. And if you go beyond that box, I will be crushed, hurt, upset, betrayed. Because I have an expectation in you to fulfill my own emptiness. I need you to complete me when I am already whole. That lack is keeping you unholy. Gives a new term, doesn't it? New, let's say, tweak on that definition. You are whole. All the time. Your beliefs say different. Your worthiness say different. Your non-acceptance of the God that you are, let's say, says different. So what do? You be. You now. You love. You allow. That idea entity that you want to fall in love with in an idea of a hope or a dream or romance to escape from the idea of, let's say, life that you're having that you're not real happy with, can never be fulfilled with another. That idea over there. For that is birthed and formed from limitation. Because you're putting it out in lack. But he's the one, she's the one, they're the one. Bullshit. You have 1,000 ones. You have so many ones in this life. And it could be one if both choose unconditional love. For themselves. Because it's a mirror. You hold no idea, yes, hold no idea of anything that that person does. Nothing. For that is unconditional love. You do not put one binding on them. One line that cannot cross. For that is lack within you if you shore up that structure of separation. Jealousy. What have they done to you? What do you feel when they betrayed you? Mistreated you? You feel lack, you feel hurt, you feel upset, you feel betrayed. Once again. What is that? That is your own love that you are not giving yourself. That never completes you. This completes you. This makes you whole. Once again, the feeling, yes, the feeling that you are seeking in the reflection of the mirror that you have validated as outside of yourself is the love that lies within the kingdom of heaven. It is that simple. But all structures of evolution in humanity's reverence for fear, separation, is deemed otherwise until the Great Awakening. And now you all are birthing new ideas on how to be a human that is unconditional. And it's a son of a bitch, we know. It's tough because you have emotion. Not only do you have the emotion, you have the greatest scale of emotion in all the nows. It is so wonderful to feel the depths you can, let's say, arrange yourself in every now, from top to bottom in an instant. Perfect. Truly. Stand by. Need you some coffee. It's been like a day. Truly, it's just been... Now, all right. So on that idea, Ocyphius nailed it. Listen, guys. You're trying to find something outside of you to be a rescue, to be an idea that will, you can, let's say, pin your hopes on, that can give you the solidity that you're missing inside. See, what you're doing is you're interpreting the lack for yourself, the own self-love that you forgot, because you were never taught from the birth. Not your fault. Get over this, guys. You were not taught from the birth to love the mirror. But you didn't know it was a mirror. You thought it was truly outside of you. But it's a mirror, and that's what you're now starting to see. So that idea that pulling out to bring that from that into here, and you keep seeking and wanting that idea to bring in so you can feel good about yourself. That is the whole key to self-love, and you see it now, don't you? You see it. I'm trying to fulfill myself by loving another, by distracting myself with things of entertainment and of acceptance and gratitude and, admiration. Oh, they're going to love me because I can't love myself. Why? Because you didn't know. You just didn't know you were allowed. First, you didn't even know you could. And now you don't even think you're allowed in a lot of aspects. Because that would be selfish, and that would be going against the idea of service to others. Servicing yourself is servicing others. How? People think that if you service yourself, you're selfish. That's their frickin' problem. That's a mirror. You are servicing them, servicing others, by servicing and loving yourself, which is service to self. You're not being at the expense of others. We know that. All of you know that in the wake world. You're not doing that. That's a game of 3D. Don't let that thought even creep up. Okay? But you service yourself. You're servicing the love that vibrates to the mirror, because the mirror speaks vibration, and that idea of reflection that's in your reality, those other entities will co-create and receive a new vibration of themselves. You know this. Lack. Envy. Jealousy. Wanting. Money. Lack. Be a millionaire. How? How do you be a millionaire? Spend like you are a millionaire. And the mirror will reflect that. Now, if you have shitty times about spending the money and you're really scared but you do it anyway, and it just feels horrible because you're not sure what's going to happen, trust it anyway. Go through it. Chalk it up to experience, to see where you can take yourself emotionally, to understand the depths of humanity, to experience every ounce of yourself on this wonderful ride. Don't avoid. But one thing you got to remember. As soon as you know it, you experience it, let's say, becomes known. Wisdom. So I am lacking, and I have money in my account, and I want to go and spend it. I'm going to treat myself. There's a girl that just emptied out her bank account. She emailed Roxy. Emptied it out, overdrawn. Her family thinks she's nuts. She went from Canada to Puerto Rico to go to a concert. That's it. Because that was her highest joy. And she did it. And everyone called her nuts. And she is so freaking happy. And of course, everything worked out. Why? Because she's happy. She chose herself in the vibration of the mirror. It's an experiential point of view that you must trust to do. But if you are lacking and you hold yourself in contempt for actions or even thoughts of taking actions upon your joy, and you don't think you deserve that, that's right back to the acceptance, which is lack. You're not willing to accept yourself as a god. You are jealous of others, envious of others. Being a millionaire would solve my problems. You are a millionaire. You just don't act like one because you need the definable relationship to money that says you're a millionaire according to society to create that image for yourself so you can accept yourself as that. We're in pretend land. Go ahead and pretend. Pretend. I'm a millionaire, so I'm going to spend my money. See, millionaires don't spend all their money at once, do they? They don't just say, $1,000,000, spend it all, and it's gone. No, they have that for their future securities, and they find ways to keep that security future. And it deems an idea of separation. They get cold sometimes, they get selfish sometimes, they get protective sometimes, because that's their own lack, that they will lose that security, so they defend it and they fight it. And you guys do the same thing in a lot of aspects besides money, don't you? You defend things that might go away, and if they go away because you're defining this coffee cup as a lover, it can be anything, right? And as soon as that lover leaves, it crushes your life. So you are dependent on that, which is your lack, asking this, please stay within my field of construct of fulfilling myself. And as soon as the coffee mug becomes a water bottle, you're fucked. As soon as that lover becomes something else, you're done. You lose it. And that's actually quite fun because we watch you guys lose your minds about that idea. And it's so beautiful to see you express that emotion. Truly it is. And now you see when you express that, after you're done with that, and then you say, damn, the only thing I'm left with is myself. Bingo. That's what the whole idea behind it. Why did this happen to me? Because you're not loving yourself. And you told the mirror, I don't love myself, so give me more ways, please, to not love myself. And that's exactly what you asked, because you vibrated that to the mirror. You vibrated lack to put the dependency on another to fulfill you. I put the dependency on this image to fulfill me. It can be money, it can be status, it can be car, and it's all birthing from lack because you are unholy. You don't have a way in remembrance to fill yourself. So now what do? You love yourself. You can take your day self on a date. Very exciting, Rob. You could treat yourself like a king or a queen. Or whatever you deem yourself to be. You can do things for yourself. Now, if you are tied to a wonderful rope tendril that's called obligation for others, then you have exposed another idea of lack. I can't because I have this responsibility to my family. There's a girl in our channeling class that has a blast at work, but she doesn't like her work. She's made it fun with her friends, but the work in and of itself she doesn't like. And immediately we asked her why, and she goes, well, because I'm obligated. I have a responsibility. I'm the only income in my family. Therefore, that structure shall remain. You think it's one earth. She, in that idea, think there's no other possibilities. And then we told her, of course there is. There's always possibilities. Why? Because you're a God. Who do you trust? The fractal? The fractal mind of control and what you coveted as a solid idea, one earth, and this is the only way it can be. It will be that way, and it will reinforce that because you're God. You say it, you believe it, you will it, so be it. It's as simple as that. But you don't have enough proof yet to shift your will, your focus, your I am a God, let's say, approach to life into just simply fun. Little by little, each and every one of you have done that, and you will continue. And we're giving the reasons to understand that. Because all these little tiny tendrils from this past identity, lost self, walking around not sure what he is or she is, has, just say, been so solid and felt natural, and then you're going to this unnatural self, and this self has got these little tendrils that are tying on to the building blocks and the foundation of the new self over here, called the one that's awakened. And it's thin, and it's not very solid, and it doesn't feel anything like I've felt all my life. So you're just looking at vibration of reality, truly, is what you're doing. Familiar, unfamiliar. But as you trust the unknown in the now, not taking the reasons why, not taking the convincing why it should be this way, not talking yourself into it, just coming over here and fucking doing it. Right now, be this idea, and this now. And every now of the past gets farther and farther and farther, in your terms, away from you to where it won't even be recognizable if you stay here in this now and approach life with no lack. If someone else has something, that's not an idea of you don't have. That's what you're taking it as. That's an idea of what you can be. By how? Allow. Don't try. Can't do it. Can't do it. Can't think. You're not smart enough. None of us are smart enough down here to figure out the frickin' universe. You can't yet. Give in to that idea. Give up on the idea of controlling your reality to make sure that you feel okay. You ever felt really happy? The way you laugh your ass off? That you're just so exponentially, beautifully now with no ideas of nothing else except what you're doing, feeling joy? Your mind can't go in other directions because there's no attention to other directions because your attention is on the now. Fun. Think about that. Think about how all these ideas are defining you. Okay? Why does this happen? What does that mean? Guys, there's so many that ask this question. Well, in 2013, it's fucking 2016. Well, 10 years ago or 5 years ago, what? Stop! That's over. All of that got you to this now. But what you do is wonder why this shit happened. Well, because it did, and you chose it. But let's do this. Let's do this right now. Who am I right now? That created this. But you think that may have fucked up this. This is not fucked up. This is a God. This is a God expanding. This God can't get mad at that God back there for doing that or wondering why and all this stuff and why did this person come in my life and then fall in love with me and then just rip my heart out. Because he showed you, they serviced you that you were relying on the mirror to, what? Be complete. And you were relying on a reflection in the mirror. But you didn't see it was yourself that you needed to love. Think about it, guys. This self now is God. See that, accept that. Be perfect with who you are. Any ideas of lack, recognize them, love them, and understand them in the simplicity. The relationship to your emotion of those said ideas we discussed earlier, envy and jealousy and abundance and lack and this and that, and the relationship to identities that complete you. That is the journey of understanding those emotions because of your own lack of love. So you can take that old self of identity and diminish it. And this new self is born that has courage to be the dragon, that has courage to step on people's toes. When your mind says, oh, don't do that, you might offend. You're living in a spiritual world. You belong to spiritual groups. You have to keep your own interactions confined within the structure. But you're still relating that to your own interpretation. How do you know what any one interpretation is? And if you give an interpretation and it gets squashed by others in idea of rejection, that's your own rejection. So those guys in your spiritual group serviced you. They became the dragon to you. Because you saw your own lack once again. Were you seeking approval? Are you seeking approval? Are you trying to interact with people in an accordance of acceptance instead of just being your own love to yourself, choosing what you want, be the dragon in the now, and find out what happens in creation as the idea of all possibilities coming to you in the now as a new idea instead of playing the same old song and dance? How many versions of yourself do you want to replay? The ones, I can tell you this, here's when you know you're ready to move, is when you say, fuck it, I'm so tired of this shit. And you say that a lot, because you are tired of it, and that's when movement happens. Because at one fundamental point, you would just say, okay, I'm done. I can't do this anymore, and then you move on. But here's the idea, you can do it now. Choice now. You want to hurry up your acceleration of ascension? You want to speed things up? How can I become more in tune? Just be now. It is the most simplest idea in the world, but it's so foreign to humanity because you've been taught your entire life to do everything first before you can take action. I cannot start life until at least I have an education, until at least I'm 18. I can't actually get a good paying job until I get higher education, because that's the funnel that they pushed you into. And it was so solid. And that familiarity with that vibration and the old self that was brought up through that idea structure is only validating it, because that's what everyone says. Now you know what it's like to be a dragon, don't you? To not worry about that. To act within the now upon yourself with no knowledge of what's going to happen. With complete trust and vulnerability. You do not need to research things out. You can do that for comfort, and you could do that for joy. But if you're listening to this, then you know it's an option. The ones who research don't know they have the option to not research, because that's their structure and view of themselves. Go over that one again. You're going to really dig that if you look at it in a couple different angles. So in that idea, I just want to be me. So I choose me, and I get vibrations back of love, and I get some unknowns, and it's holy shit, and I do it again and again and again and again and again. And I spend like I'm a millionaire, because the money never stops, because I'm telling the mirror I fucking love spending money. So it keeps coming and coming and coming and coming. And I get to keep playing as I choose in this world. And I don't need to become a career over here. I don't need to have this full love over here, because the lack of my self-love shows me that I'm looking for another. The others come without, because once you are unconditional love, what do you attract? Unconditional love. Here comes that lover unconditionally. It's a mirror, it's a bubble, you create that co-creation in that now, and it comes when no expectations, when how they're supposed to be, who they're supposed to be, when they're supposed to come. You will know it because it sings, and you will know it in that instant. There is not one item about yourself that you would never, ever change. That's why so many idea relationships fail. You're running along in love, lie, love, and you start to start to interact, and you're just so much in common, and you're just being yourself, because you're not obligated to a relationship yet, right? You have some great sex, it's awesome, everything is going good, and then all of a sudden, oh shit, this might turn into a relationship. Okay, well fuck, maybe this is the one, maybe this is the idea. And it starts to get that structure of a relationship on it. And then all of a sudden, well, wait a minute, maybe I don't quite want to do this right now because I can tell him or her later that I like this, but for some reason in my mind, I think they won't like this, and I'll lose that glorious relationship that I've been wanting in hopes of completing me. Which is truly, of course, you're lacking. You know that. So in that idea, you change yourself. Just a hairline. And then that vibration sticks with you. It's a building of a negative belief within you. A construct you don't want to choose. And then the relationship gets deeper. And it gets a little stronger. So you change yourself a little bit more. And then you have another vibration in you that says, you don't want this, but I can deal with it. I'm going to change myself for another, because that other will make me happy. I don't deserve to make myself happy. Not your fault. Just awareness. Relax. And in that idea, each one is changing for each other until it's this complete fucking mess. The two entities are changing themselves, so of course the vibrations are going to explode. Now you think, since it's unconditional love, and you are in love with this person, and it's 5 years later, 10 years later, and all of a sudden that other wants to change their life. They want to go off and do their own thing. They want to maybe have another sexual partner. Maybe they want to not be married for a while, take a break, okay? And you're crushed. Showing you what? Dependency. Relying on. Trusting them. And man, what's the matter, baby? And then it comes crushing down. The whole thing comes crushing down, and your heart is smashed. Because what you felt, truly, in the vibrational of translation, is truly your love. That pain and heartache is your vibration of your own self-love saying, wait a minute, love me. You don't need to love that anymore. Because that is this. It's always this, guys. It's always this. Question nothing. Forget about the past. That has nothing to do with you now. Every idea that you know, there's know of the now. There's an idea written in Conversations with God by Neil Donald Walsh about the idea of God making a promise. You will always have everything you need in the moment. It's just your choice. See, let's look at that right now, that statement. Everyone stop, step back, and look around. Look at everything in your life. Forget about tomorrow. Forget about 10 minutes from now. Forget about yesterday. Right now, do you have everything you need? And the answer will be yes, because everyone that's watching this is capable of watching this, and they must be on a video, they must be on a YouTube, they must be in a house, they must be somewhere with an iPhone, they must be somewhere in an idea of okay. Although it's perfect, but you may deem it as just okay. But let's ask yourself that question. So what else outside of the now is there? Probability in the past. That's it. Nothing else. And that's where your lack is birthed from. Because you look at the now, and I have this, but I don't have that. I need that now in order for that to make me happy now. In order to make me happy now. That needs to come here now. I need to hurry it along. And then you jump right back into control factors and make things happen. That's a creator, and you will. Absolutely. You will get shit done. You will make things happen. You will achieve goals because you're God. But that's an effort God. And this channel is effortless. We are effortless gods, showing you the way home through your self-love. Because that is what the mirror does. That is the law. It will be there forever. That you are a reflection unto yourself. And when you start taking that into account in every now, your actions, seeing your actions and pondering moments of, let's say, contemplation of maybe a past moment or a future moment, nothing wrong with that. To see yourself and feel the emotional rise up inside of you. See what's there without the idea of actually playing it out. Play it out in imagination. Play those probable futures out. This might happen. Play it out. Go to the worst case scenario. Feel the emotions. Look at the attachment. Do you have that value of limitation over your own self? Look at it. See it. And love it. And know it. Your fault? Not a chance. Your choice to ascend a species. Masters joining a master class to take a species to the next idea of itself. That's it. Now it's all up to you. You guys are the choice of yourself. Everything you need to know how to give your life happiness. Now, I'm going to tell you this. It's not to ascend. It's not to become more spiritual-like. It's not to connect necessarily to your star sisters and brothers. It's not to find out how many romantic lives you've had in the past or in the future to give yourself justification of, let's say, accepting yourself as this. The romantic idea of being Isis, or the idea of, let's say, Cleopatra or Pharaoh or this. You were Joe fucking Blow. You were a whore in a whorehouse at one time. You were a rapist. You were a lover. You were a king. You were a saint. You were everything. But you'll need to find something to give your own self-reverence of value in this now lack. Love for the self in the apparency of this beautiful God that you see before you. Forget about that shit of romance. Distraction. Now is everything. Love yourself now. Imagine everything. Play it out. Be the God you are now. Choose the self over all others in the idea. Be a dragon. And here's the gift of the dragons, by the way. When you become a dragon, you will attract a dragon to you. And then watch yourself kick your own ass. There's no greater joy than kicking your own ass down here so you can see what keeps you limited at the depths you've never encountered before. But here's the gift. Another wonderful gift of yourself. You understand it now. So it doesn't become an issue of what it was. The worst is over. Allow the now. Trust the self only. Lack to the mirror is lack in the self. Realize the love that you are hoping that will come in from another, that will complete you, that will make you worthy of being chosen by creation to exist through another. You got this shit. And I am honored to all my dragon friends. And we have woken some more. Awesome. All right, guys, we're going to head out like a baby. You know, never. Roxy likes that. We love you guys. We'll see you in the next now. Bye. It's done. If it's done, it's done.
It's done.
Oh, are you recording again? Okay. Okay. She hit the button real quick. It's like, as soon as I came out, I was like, oh my gosh. So, we love you. We'll see you later. In the next now. Love you guys. Bye.